the only time we were losing goals when we were getting beat by Worldlies. It wasn't. We weren't giving goals away. Laura said earlier on, Hibs didn't need to work hard for any of the 3 goals yesterday. Glasgow City didn't need to work particularly hard last week for the 3 goals that they got. We're giving goals away. That's the difference. You know what I mean, West Dyke scored the goal against us. It was a decent hit. You can accept that from anybody. Yeah. You know, teams. If it's a Worldlie, it's a Worldlie. There's not much you can do about that. It doesn't matter what level of football or what the gulf between the 2 teams. If somebody hits a Worldlie, there's not really a lot you can do about it. We're giving goals away. Absolutely gifting teams goals.
Yeah. Teams don't fear playing us anymore like they used to. Teams come and they know how we play or how we're supposed to play, whether that's how we're playing or not. But they're not scared to play us. They'll come, they'll attack. You used to see them just come and sort of sit back, barring maybe the top 3 or 4 teams. Like even going back to that Partick Thistle game, they had a go at us. No one, even the bottom half teams, aren't scared to play us anymore.
Yeah. And as Cara, as we mentioned, Cara is currently hurtling up the A9 somewhere, or maybe is up at Thursday, I don't know. But Cara, evening folks, sorry for the absence tonight. I'm just popping in to wish everyone a Merry Christmas when it comes. Absolutely, yes. And just before we go, everybody on the Rangers Women's Show, Alan, who can't be here with us tonight, Demi, Laura and Rolf would all like to wish you a good Merry Christmas when it comes. I hope you spend it with everybody that you want, and hope you're in the good books with Santa and you get everything you want. Well,
yeah, I'll sorry, I was waiting for you to direct that at somebody or somebody else jump in. I'll say, yeah. I mean, I'm not the most Christmassy person in the world, as my daughter, who's sitting in her car at the moment, will attest to. But yeah, Merry Christmas to Karen and everybody in the comments, especially the regulars that we've got in. A special Christmas shout out to Yai Zhen, who posted at the start of the show. Not sure if he's still watching from Thailand at Papa's 1 in the morning. That's ludicrous. That's above and beyond the Call of Duty. But yeah, to everybody, Paul, Aldo, JD, all the usual contributors. Obviously to yourselves, guys. Have a good Christmas. Hope Santa's good to you all.
My first thought was, should they have happened? They don't deserve it. But I think they do kind of need a bit of a break. Maybe not as long as the 10 days or 2 weeks or whatever it is they get. But I think they maybe need a wee break for each other and kind of come back refreshed, ready to kick on for the second half of the season. But yeah, I think they should be doing some extra sessions maybe at some point after their Christmas dinner.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything worse than, no matter what the problem is, whether the players aren't getting along, whether it's something with Joe, they've worked too hard, whatever it is, nothing good can come from being in that same environment for longer. Take a break, and we can only hope that taking that break is what it takes for them to realise, come on, we're doing something wrong here.
Sorts of nonsense, if you so wish. What about Charlie, who's on the line? How's it going, Charlie?
Hi guys, how's it going? All right, Gordon.
Good. What are you
Charlie.
thinking tonight?
Hi,
Charlie. I'm on with a bit of nonsense, Gordon.
Go for it.
Talk about Celtic, how where they've been going the last few weeks. I had an idea we were going to drop points yesterday, obviously, when I've seen yet more team changes. I think Celtic are paying a price, if you like, for squad rotation. A few weeks ago, we were talking about we're getting to see all the players, and people were saying it was a positive thing, and it was good to see all the other players. You felt like they were getting involved, and maybe he's keeping the squad happy type of thing. But there has to be a payment for this. There has to be something to give back, and that happened yesterday.
I don't think that was, but he said that, it was a bug or something, was it not? Because it's not like those players were on the bench, or I think Kuhn's even injured, so it wasn't really a rotation, was it?
Well, he has been dropping a lot of players. How much it was down to a bug, and how much it was an eye on the 2nd of January, I don't know. Brendan Rodgers was on some record somewhere, I remember from the first time up, he said he liked to finish the season stronger, and he liked to finish matches stronger. That's what he was saying in the season. And I think he's doing that. I think he's trying to keep everything right for the back end of the season. And no, he's definitely been thinking. Don't get me wrong, it's not just the squad rotation. It's led me to think that Celtic were going to be poor yesterday. Hattati, I'll talk about Hattati, by the way. He's been terrible. He's been terrible for weeks and weeks. He came on and he was on a cup final. I think it was his first 5 interactions, just gave the ball away. You know what I mean? I know he's capable of great things, but he's been terrible. He's been terrible for weeks. And so that, and then we've not got him down the wing. We couldn't be enough. Anthony Ralston's crossing was rotten as well. I mean, he's ballooning balls. He's got to cross the ball 15 yards and he's hitting at 30 or ballooning it out of park. You know what I mean? So, yeah, the final ball wasn't there, the supply wasn't there, and you can't blame Kyogo. You know what I mean? He'd one chance. You would have expected him to take it, but you can't take them all.
We do get the odd complaint about Rio Hatate's form in recent weeks, it feels like.
Yeah. Listen, it's been interesting because, you know, prior to yesterday I think it's just a blip, but prior to yesterday, a lot of calls saying, you know, should Bernardo be getting to run in the team? Should Luke McCowan be getting to run in the team? What do you do with Engels? Do you try and keep him in there to play through this little tough spell that he's having? Should Hatate be in the team? So I think there will be more rotation in these next two home games. Wouldn't surprise me if Bernardo and Engels, who didn't start yesterday, do start against Motherwell on Boxing Day. But again, as we said about Kyogo earlier in the show, when it comes to January the 2nd at Ibrox, I fully expect Rio Hatate to start.
Yeah, listen, I think you pointed out a lot of that was down to potentially a bug that new faces coming in, and I do feel like looking at the team yesterday, I do think that midfield area was still really strong, but again, the one that impressed me the most out of that midfield three was Luke McCowan. I thought he was a constant threat. Didn't quite get the same output as Rio Hatate from the other side, but again, it's got to be said, I do feel as if that 2nd of January game was tomorrow. I still think Rio Hatate plays. I think he's so trusted in these bigger games. I think in the European games for Celtic this year he's done really well. I think he's going through a little dip in form just now, but I can't imagine it will last too long.
I mean, Charlie, for a lot of other people in your fan base, they'd maybe say that, you know, you've got to Christmas, you've only dropped points twice. I think it's only like Rodgers' invincible season, Martin O'Neill's treble season, and maybe one or two others that top it for points gained at this point in the season. So is it not all a bit kind of over the top to be too critical?
I basically your point there, Gordon, but Celtic's levels have risen consistently for years now. It's just the performances. They've been playing half a game for most of the Leipzig game aside. It's not that they've been doing it for 90 minutes in every game, you know what I mean? They've been very hit and miss a lot of times, I think.
Yeah, I think the issue with rotation, Roger, is like, take Ross County a few weeks ago. Was that the 6 or the 8 changes? 6, I think. You know, Scales, McCowan, I think Bernardo, Ida, all not only came in but scored.
Yeah.
McGregor scored 5-0 up at half time, and everyone says, oh, you know, look at the strength and depth. And then yesterday it doesn't work. So then, I know, I mean, once you're 5-0, this is what I'm talking about with the expectations. Nothing in the second half, said Charlie. 5-0 up after 40 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, for fans of other teams, that I get it, because maybe Celtic do feel they've raised their own bar and they want to keep pushing it and standards and all this stuff, but we can't be in a position where teams are grumbling at not scoring in the second half after they're 5-0 up.
If we're sitting here next Monday night and Celtic have drawn at home to Motherwell and Celtic have drawn at home to St Johnstone and the gap's down to something like 5 points, then phone back, Charlie, and we can have a discussion about this. But I genuinely think yesterday was just a blip. You know, as you say, 3 of the changes were in the back 4 and they kept a clean sheet, and the United didn't have a meaningful effort on target.
And Kuhn was injured.
Kuhn was injured, Johnson was injured, the 2 centre halves were ill. So listen, these things happen. As you said yourself, Gordon, you're not going to get through this season with 38 wins from 38 games. There are going to be afternoons like yesterday, and what you would praise Celtic for is they've sort of minimised those afternoons this season, because when they've gone away from home, even up at Dingwall, you know, they were 1 down at Dingwall for a long time, and they got 2 goals in the last 20 minutes and they won the game. So I think the big surprise yesterday is they just couldn't get that goal.
Oh, listen, Charlie, you talked about raising the bar. Something we spoke about a wee bit earlier. Is there an area going into the January transfer window you'd like to see Celtic strengthen?
Yeah, that's a good question. Well, listen, everybody's talking about left back. We talked about left back before the start of the season, and we know that this boy here is going to be away to Barcelona, Valle. And I rate Greg Taylor. I think he's got a great footballing brain. He's quick. He's tremendously a quick brain. But I can see cover coming in there. If Kieran Tierney come back, you know what I mean, you would happily see 2 boys, because they're still in the mid-20s. They could secure that position. It's something Celtic maybe not need to think about for the next 6, 7, 8 years. You know what I mean? They could tick it off, put that position to bed, so to speak. Maybe left back.
It's interesting that 'cause we've heard the Kieran Tierney chat over the last couple of weeks or so. That left back position doesn't seem like a problematic area for me when I look at Celtic. Well, I think you've got the debate between who plays out of Greg Taylor and Alex Vibe because they're both really good options. It's not. I don't think it's because they're two poor options to play in.
Is it because
the
of
position?
who that left back is though, where it's seen as, if fit, which everyone keeps saying, it's seen as like a definite upgrade, and one that on paper Celtic could get. You're not plucking a name. It's Kieran Tierney in the links.
But do you not feel as if that has been an area that Celtic spoke about even recently before Kieran Tierney's name came popping up, that was potentially available? For me, I do look at that sort of that wide area where I do think if there is a longer term injury to a Nicholas Cunha, a Dyson Maeda, I think that's the only real area to me that I look at the field that could strengthen.
I think if they sign Kieran Tierney, and I think there's a genuine chance they will, I think we need to sign a second left back as well, because Vi will go back to Barcelona. And if Kieran Tierney's coming in, I don't see Greg Taylor signing a new contract. I think Greg Taylor will go in the summer if Kieran Tierney returns.
Well, thank you, Charlie. 01419511025 is the number. If there's anything else you want off your chest before Christmas, please do it, and we will speak to you next.